All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Contractor USA show. This is Alan, and I am here with Isabella Marrero. That's how I say that, right? Marrero?
Yes,
Is that
Marrero.
that's I had to get the R twirl, right? The rero part.
Marrero.
There you go. Awesome, awesome. And they are permit busters. Now, this is pretty cool because this ought to be pretty helpful and handy for every contractor in all of America. So, Isabella, tell me, what is permit busters? What do you do? What is that?
So, Permit Busters, we are involved in the customer relations and support. We're the type of business that support contractors,
Okay.
homeowners, investors, and we specialize in helping homeowners and contractors navigate the complexities of obtaining building permits. We handle every aspect of the permit process all through the initial approval.
Wow. And you guys do that in every state or certain states right now?
Right now, we're in Florida, all of
Okay.
Florida, and we're working up to be able to work in other states as well.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, you guys have been doing this for like how long?
We've been doing this for 12 to 15 years, give or
Wow.
take.
Okay.
Yes.
So you guys have pretty much got this dialed in. I mean, with contractors, when it comes to permits, that's usually the part they don't want to do that. They just want to be building, honing their craft, creating some kind of fabulous project for someone, and then it just gums up the system when they got to go take care of all those. So you guys basically are able to step in and help with that process, right?
Correct. Contractors just pretty much just do what they do best, just build and create more projects and build homes
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah. And so, man, I could just see this could be a great addition to any contractor throughout the U.S. Now, what kind of permits, like, do you guys do? I mean, I'll just list a couple things. You do them for like residential, commercial, city, federal, all the above. What do you guys do?
So right now in Permit Busters, we're handling a lot of code violation permits after the
Okay.
facts. For example, our main focus right now is residential,
Okay.
commercial violations. For example, our fix and flippers, right? Our
Yeah.
investors, they fix and flip. They want to be able to get in and out of their projects, and
Yeah.
they want to do it as fast as they can, but having to deal with the permits kind of hinder their performance and getting
Yeah.
the house ready for to be sold. So we
Yeah.
work with them hands on and we take care of everything
Okay.
commercial wise, new construction, new build, you name it.
Oh, okay. And so they can go work, take care of their project. You guys take care of all that paperwork, get it all done and approved, all that kind of stuff. Now, what are some of like, let's just talk residential for a minute. What are
Mhm.
some of the common types of permits or code violations that you guys see maybe a little bit more than others?
More than others, I'll say my fix and flippers, they residential, they buy a house, they rehab it, and this is it's very dynamic right now with the
Yeah.
permitting. We are high demand because of code enforcement in South Florida,
Yeah.
especially the code enforcement is driving around all the time,
Yeah.
and these type of things, stopping them from, as just placing a stop work order on their
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
That's somebody, there's a
Yeah.
lot of frustration there. So
Yeah.
we see that a lot in South Florida, and I feel like it's just getting worse nowadays. Like the building code
Yeah.
just changed this year, so
Wow.
it's every 3 years it changes. It just becomes stricter. So not having the experience that we have is going to be really hard for for a regular person to be able
Yeah.
to navigate through the process.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Now, I noticed that here in California, a lot of people will like move a load-bearing wall, or they'll dig into a load-bearing wall, and sometimes they don't realize because it's internal sometimes that they don't have to get a permit, and that could be I could see, a code violation here, things like that. People removing a window into an exterior wall, or that's going to go into the backyard to put double doors, right? And if they don't pull permits on that, that's a load bearing wall again. They're going to have to get I beams or whatever they got to do to shore up that wall. They have to have permits. Are there any other common types of permits that you guys see in Florida? I would imagine those two are probably the same as Florida and California. Any other kinds that you see people are like, they're not getting done that you guys can step in and help?
Well, so there's some people that do not, the normal person does not know if they need permits. Now, the
Okay.
load-bearing walls, for example,
Yeah.
anytime you change the structure of a regular house, you need a permit.
Yeah.
So you changing the structure, making a window into a door and vice versa, that's
Gotcha.
a big deal. You need
Yes.
engineering for that because you
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to withhold the wind loads and the actual weight of the actual glass.
Yes.
So if the city found out that you're doing that, they will place an unsafe structure in your
Yeah.
property, which means that it's unsafe.
Yeah.
You have to get the permits or else they will demo
Yeah.
your property.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Anything with foundational work, any ADUs, a room addition, all these kinds of things, I'm sure they're going to need permits, and that's where you guys step in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys have been in the business now doing this in Florida for, you said, what, somewhere between 11 and 15 years, something like that?
Yes,
Or,
more or less like 13 years.
okay,
We've been doing this. We started very small,
okay,
whereas we're just doing like change outs, window change outs,
okay.
re-roofs, stuff like that until we start seeing the bigger projects come in.
Gotcha.
And we just started getting better and the more challenging it became, the more we learned and how to
Yeah.
navigate through that process.
Gotcha. Okay. So would it look like when you're talking to a residential fix and flipper, you're going to go, hey, let me see what kind of scope of work you're doing. And then we'll go down to the city. We're going to see what
Hmm.
they're going to want permits on. They tell you how many you're going to need or whatever. You pull that permit for all the line items, I guess. One of the things that I don't know how it works exactly in Florida, probably the same way, but you can go in for each individual permit, or you can just go in for one overarching permit and list all the things that need to go on that one permit. Is that basically how it works there in Florida?
Yes, absolutely. So that's called a master
Okay.
permit.
Okay.
Whenever
Yeah.
we have a fix and flipper that needs contractors, we do provide contractors. We have a huge
Okay.
vendors list of contractors
Great.
that are qualified to do this work.
Okay.
Most of the time, I don't know in California, but in Florida, if the house you're permitting is not homesteaded, meaning that's not your primary
Yeah.
residence, you will require a contractor. So we
Yes.
ask, if they don't have the violations paperwork documentation, we reach out to the city. For the
Okay.
code enforcement officer will provide that to us, and normally it will list the scope of work.
Yes.
Now, this is where it becomes tricky. Some cities don't give you, they give you a vague description. Needs
Yeah.
permits. The work done without permits. What permits?
Yeah.
So most likely, if it's a huge remodel, we'll take it all together and do a master permit and then
Okay.
list the rest sub permits. Or we try to, we are very strategic in how
Yeah.
to navigate this process. It could be if it's a master permit that has windows and doors, has a shed, has a driveway, we try to separate them because we
Gotcha.
know that if we do it separately, it
Gotcha.
will get a better result. It'll go in faster than waiting for the rest of the stuff to be approved. So
Yeah.
we look at all that and we research to make sure that they're getting the right strategic
Okay.
process, how we kind of organize them, like you could say, so that
Yeah.
way it's smooth.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And it must be amazing because I was a contractor for many years. That's why I ended up starting all these schools. But it's so nice when you could have someone go out there, they take care of all the details. You could rest
Hmm.
it easy at night, put your head on the pillow, sleep fine. You know someone's got your back, they're taking care of it. And I think at the end of the day with a lot of contractors, they got enough to think about when it comes to managing the project, the materials, the staff, everything else. When they have a team like you guys behind them that could just take care of that and they don't have to worry about that. Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Got to relieve stress.
we pretty much take the sleepless nights for you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Now, are you finding that it's pretty busy out there with fix and flippers and a lot of construction going on in Florida?
Oh yes, it's very
Yeah.
busy right now. The market is getting busier as it goes
Yes.
because the building code change is more challenging. So it's
Yeah.
almost like we take what we already know,
Hmm.
implement that, and then learn on top of that what else changed. So
Okay.
in the end of the day, it's still hard for us because
Yeah.
the clients don't know what happened behind the scenes. Behind the scenes
Yes.
is chaotic just
Yes.
so they can have a smooth process in the end of
Okay.
the project.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. And I mean, stress kills, right? That's the cause of most of our ailments. So the fact that you're able to relieve that, not only are you guys permit busters, but you take away headaches and stress. I love it.
We're therapists.
Man, that's worth its weight in gold. And you guys also actually have a coaching program. Talk to me about that. Permit Busters Academy. What is that about, and how can people get involved in that?
Okay, so something that we're innovating and
Mhm.
leveraging with technology to simplify
Okay.
the entire process for our clients.
Nice.
So the
Nice.
coaching permits is really Bella Coaching.
Okay.
We were previously known as Bella Permits, but then
Okay.
we expanded and we merged with Permit Busters to take the
Nice.
permitting to a next level. So
Okay.
Bella Coaching is who the people that benefit are big companies that do
Mm.
volume permits. For
Yes.
example, if you're a windows and doors huge company and you have people in house doing your permits,
Yeah.
that's okay. Now, if your team are not aware how to navigate the process, I will come in and I will teach them and coach them through the process so they're not by
Nice.
themselves. They're not alone and I could teach their team.
That's
We
great.
basically coach them through the entire process on how to do corrections, how to submit permits, how to organize their permitting pipeline so that way
Gotcha.
they don't have a problem in the later on.
Okay. No, that's excellent. And so, does this have anything where they can be in another state? You walk them through the process, you coach them, you guide them, and then they can be a part of this academy or this coaching program where you're always there when they have questions and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. It can be
Okay.
remote. Most of the cities nowadays they are electronic submittals, but
Okay.
even if they're not, the coaching is basically just education at an
Okay.
educational level to understand what they're asking for. Not
Gotcha.
every permit is smooth and it's going to get approved right away, but you
Yeah.
want it, the important part is to know how to get it approved and go
Yeah.
through the steps to get it there and
Yeah.
understanding the complexity of it.
Okay. So you help potentially, if they need it, review the docs they're going to turn in, make sure they have everything in order, that kind of stuff. Man, that's fabulous.
Yes,
Now,
correct.
so you said it's pretty busy out there in Florida. You guys are a lot of renovation going on, a lot of fix and flippers. It's packed out here in Cali. We're actually getting tons of fix and flippers because of our weird law that we've had in the past, like when COVID hit, where people didn't have to pay the rent,
Hmm.
and then the homeowners just had to suffer and figure out a way, and so that was a little bit rough. So a lot of investors that are investing in Cali, when it comes to single family in general, are not buying homes and then renting them. They're buying them and flipping. That way, a person buys it, or a realtor sells it, and it's just out of their hands, but they made decent money doing that. So you've seen a lot of that there as well.
Oh yeah, we see it all the time,
That's
especially
awesome.
investors. From the fixing and flipping, from just a regular remodel, bathroom remodel, even
Yeah,
flooring permits require plumbing. So it's a lot of things
yeah,
that people
that's
don't
true.
know.
Yeah,
And you got to
yeah,
think
yeah,
about it. You got to lift your toilet up.
yeah,
That alone is just a plumbing permit. So it's
yeah.
it's it's crazy down here.
Yeah, is it much of a competitive market that you're in where people are doing what you're doing, or are you
Oh
guys,
yes.
paving a way? Okay, so it's a little bit competitive. There are other people out there. Now, what do you wish clients knew about you and your business? Is there anything you have there?
I wish our client knew just how much happens behind the scenes to make
Yeah,
them feel like it's simple and it's
yeah,
not. We don't tell them what happens behind the scenes. They just trust that we take care of it. Every permit is unique and
yeah,
often requires in-depth research. For example, if the reviewer is not cooperating or he's not responsive, I have to go to the building department. Somebody has to go to the building department, knock on some doors. So we do all that in-depth stuff to get the permit
Okay.
approved. When clients partner with us, they're getting a team that actually genuinely cares about their success. We
Yeah.
take each project and we treat it as our if it's our own, just to make it a positive experience for them.
Yeah, that's great. And so is there a lot of collaboration back and forth, or you mostly just they give you what you need, you go take care of it for them, and then you come back with the finished product?
Correct. So basically, I tell them, look, if you don't have to worry about permits, give me what I need. This is the list of th things that I need, and they
It's awesome.
go on with their life, and we take care of everything. And then if we need anything, we process everything and we take care of everything to our the best we can. If there's
That's
something
good.
that we need from them, they have clear communication and transparency, so that way
That's good.
we can continue doing our job.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I noticed you touched on a little bit, and it kind of goes with this question. How are you innovating? So, you guys are talking about moving into some good new technology. How is that working out? And what are you doing? Some of the things that are making your business and industry just better, higher level.
So, Permit Busters were innovating by leveraging technology just to make it simple for the for our clients. For example, where our main focus has been implementing digital tools that allow real-time
Yes.
tracking and status updates.
Yes.
Now, right now, we're working with AI to work with that
Okay.
as well to launch something, and that way everybody it has clear communication.
That's
A lot
good.
of our clients complains on previous, I guess, previous companies that do not answer the phone. They don't give them, they have a communication problem. So we
Yeah.
take that upon ourselves to make sure we don't have a communication problem, that there's somebody
Beautiful.
assigned to give you updates along the way every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, what motivated you guys to start this business?
Well, I feel like um, in a couple of years ago,
Hmm.
it was in the building department, for example, I would see people and contractors just frustrated, and we wanted to make an impact. We wanted to
Yeah.
help, and I've helped other people, and I'm like, you know what? This was before I started
Yeah.
permitting. I was like, this is something good.
Yeah.
So, and me submitting one permit and I see everybody just fall apart. The homeowners are stressed. They don't know what anything means. I
Yeah.
just feel like it was just the motivation was just helping other people, and it felt
It's
good,
awesome.
to make
Yeah.
an impact and make them feel that everything is okay, that
Yeah.
there's a light in the end of the tunnel, and I can
That
help
makes
them
sense.
through that process.
No, that's great. Yeah, I've seen a lot of contractors kind of just like
Give
shaking their
up.
head, like just so frustrated, and so that's great that you're able to take care of that. Because how do you build a good business? You find a problem, and when you find that, then you find a solution, and then you're able to monetize that, because when people are frustrated and they don't want to do that aspect, they're willing to pay for it. I mean, that happens to me all the time. When I find something I really don't want to do, if I could find someone I could pay to do that, boom, I'd rather go that route, especially since they can take that on, master it better than I can, give it the attention that it needs without, losing time and attention on the things that you need to do to get happening. So, these contractors, they just got to finish their projects. One of their biggest problems in life, a lot of times, is finishing on time. And this also helps not only take away frustration and stress, but it helps them move along at a speedily rate, because you're able to just take care of that paperwork while they can keep constructing. So, man, I
Mhm.
could just see nothing but win-wins in here. And so that's neat that you guys saw the frustration and wanted to be of service to your community, to contractors, to relieve that stress.
And
Now,
not only that, we
mhm,
actually help the contractors understand why certain we're like therapists. We
yeah,
don't just take the project, we educate them and explain to them why a permit is necessary.
yeah,
And we give them this
yeah,
is the problem, this is the
yeah,
solution. What do you
yeah,
want us to do about it? So that way we
yeah,
give them an idea of, hey, you don't have to use us. You're welcome to do it yourselves, but this is what you're going to face if you did it alone
yeah.
versus having the professionals do it themselves, so it would be easier for them. So we give them that option, and then they choose in the end what they want to do, if they want to do it themselves and try it out.
Yeah.
We give them that ability to choose on their own what they want to do.
So when you're talking to them about that, run this by me a little bit. Like, what is the possible repercussions if they don't pull permits? Can they get in trouble?
Absolutely. They can get a violation. Once the violation goes into the magistrate court,
Mhm.
they can get fined by the judge to I think I'm not sure the amount. It's 200, $350 a day,
Oh
depending
wow,
if it's commercial or residential, and they'll lien the property.
wow,
There has been properties that we came across that the scope of work was less than the lien itself of
wow,
years of accumulation. So
wow.
it doesn't go away
Yeah,
unless you sell it. And it's like a generational curse. You have to
yeah,
hold your number and it's
yeah.
attached to that person forever until they
Wow,
get rid of it. So it doesn't go away. It's
wow.
always generating.
Well, I know out here as well, if a contractor doesn't pull permits, they can be sued by the homeowner, by the city. Also, they can lose, their license can be suspended, which means they can't continue to produce wealth. Or if they're still doing construction, it's illegally, because I know that
Hmm.
Florida and California both have mandates on having a contractor's license in order to do construction. So they can get in some pretty big trouble. And if they're repeat offenders of not pulling permits, they could actually see some jail time here.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, I don't know if that's the same there. So we had a project that a contractor was working on, and the guy didn't go through my school. Actually, the restaurateur came to me seeking advice on how to deal with this contractor. The guy had remodeled the entire restaurant, done the plumbing because they gutted the drywall. He did all the electrical. He redid everything, but he faked the permits and the sign offs. So he faked all that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he was trying to save money. He basically wrote and signed off on things himself, and that way he could make more money, but he still billed the homeowner for permits and all that, and inspections and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, when the restaurant opened, the city's like, "You guys remodeled this, but you never pulled any permits or did anything." It's like, "Wait, what? But what are all these?" Turns out the contractor had lied and cheated, and he actually went to jail, and he's been in jail for I know it was a
Wow.
year minimum, and then had fines to do all the rebuild. But meanwhile, while he's sitting in jail and he doesn't have the money to pay the restaurateur had to have everything, the drywall gutted and redone so that they could get the certifications properly. So he'd already paid this guy. Now he had to double pay until he can get his money back from that contractor. So it can hurt the contractor, and it can hurt the homeowner or the
Absolutely.
restaurateur, hotelier, whatever. That's why it's vital to make sure those permits are done right. I mean, it can cause a lot of chaos, and I don't know how it is there, but they don't play around. So, and there's
Oh,
a lot of
no, for
states that
sure.
don't play around with that permitting stuff. So that's good that you guys are able to expand across the U.S. and help people stay compliant to not get in trouble. At the end of the day, we just need to make money, take care of our family, grow our company, take care of our employees, right?
Of course, in the end of the day, you have to think about your due diligence. And I tell all my
Yeah.
clients this. You have your own contractor, that's fine. Make sure that they are the person that's signing the
Yes.
permit. Make sure that their license and their name is on the
Yes.
certificate. Make sure everything is public records. You could look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now to go back to you were saying about doing work, contractors doing work and getting in trouble. Now,
Yeah.
some cities, if you have an expired permit
Uh-huh.
or a permit that hasn't closed or you're negative in a city, they will not let you in that city
Wow.
pull another permit until you
Wow.
fix that problem. So it
Okay.
negatively impacts the
Mm.
contractor's credentials
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
it's to their best, their best interest to fix that problem and make sure that
Yeah.
they're up to date. We come across contractors that go
Wow.
out of business, and we're
Yeah.
helping their homeowners deal with the violations they had years ago.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but
Yeah.
we're here to help no matter what, and it's doable.
Yeah.
It's just the right way to do it. There's always
Yeah.
steps. Otherwise, if you don't use somebody that knows what they're doing, you're going to go in
Yeah.
circles
Yeah.
until you
Yeah.
get it right.
Have you ever run into a contractor who's just like, I don't want to waste time pulling permits. I just got to get this done. And
All
you
the
try to
time.
explain to them, right? You try to tell them.
They come to me all the time because most of our contractors, they're word of mouth. We've been doing this for
Yeah.
so long that they basically they stay with us forever. And
Yeah.
they tell me, I don't know how you do it. You know, it's I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And we pretty much tell them, look, stay in your lane.
Yeah,
The building
exactly.
department, one of the building officials actually called me and he's like, Bella, what if you came to us? This is the building official in one of the
Wow.
cities, and you taught our people how to do permits because contractors don't know how to, and they're not supposed
Wow.
to know how to.
Yeah.
So it's another extension where Bella coaching will come into play because now not just the contractors will take advantage of Bella coaching, but also the building departments that are tired of seeing these people in circles and it's gotten out of control. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we're working on getting a contract with the building department to kind of help their people and help them navigate the permit process for them.
That's beautiful. In fact, see how I did that? Beautiful. Bella coaching. Bella.
Bella
Bella.
coaching.
Bella
Yes.
coaching. Beautiful. That's what that means, right? Even though it
Thank you.
fits
Thank you.
Isabella, but
Isabella
Bella.
Bella.
Yeah, that's good. You call it
Hey, listen,
Bella,
we
but
help our Spanish, our Latinos. Hablamos español, and most of
perfect.
a lot of our investors no hablan español, so nosotros los
Mm,
ayudamos en todas maneras que se pueda. They don't understand how to read comments. We do.
yes.
So we're, you know, in Miami especially, there's a lot, it's a big melting pot, and we help our
Yeah.
Latinos to navigate the
Yeah.
process to make it
You get
simple for them.
a lot of Cubanos and Puerto Ricanos out there, right?
A lot of Cubanos, Brasileños,
Ah,
you know, Puerto Rico, all everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere in
yeah.
South America. Venezuela,
Oh,
they're all
yeah.
here doing fix and flips, and they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no idea about how crazy what they're getting into.
It's crazy. I was just talking to a gentleman out there because we were talking about expanding our schools into Florida, and it costs upwards of $8,000 to $10,000 to get a contractor's license there, and you got to pass tests. The one guy took 2 weeks to pass all his tests. It took him a long time. It is open book, but you get like,
Mhm.
15 books or so that you have to learn and know, and that's pretty rough. I'm amazed that people can come and get their license from other countries and still understand all that stuff. That's a lot. I thought California was tough. We're actually easier on our testing than I think Florida, but we get some people from Venezuela. We don't really get any Cubanos or Puerto Ricanos here, but we get a lot of Mexican because we're right on the border, basically in Southern California. So we get a ton there, and they come up get their license. I would say that 85% of the people that go through my school are Hispanic, Latino, right? So we're always trying to help them in Spanish and English. Your services could do great over here because this needs to be done all the time, and
Mhm.
I don't know how it is with Cubanos and Puerto Ricanos and those kind, but with Hispanic from Mexico, they really want you to kind of handhold them through this process because they're nervous or scared, and they would rather just rely on you to take care of that. You know what I mean?
And do you guys in California, so for your contractor's license, do you guys have to work underneath somebody for a couple of years before you?
Yeah, they have to do 4 years at journeyman level before they can get their license.
Yes,
Um,
here as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's pretty good. You guys get hurricanes, we get earthquakes. So I don't know which one's
I don't
worse.
know
I
which
know
one's
I
more.
lived here my whole life, and I haven't gotten hurt yet. So
Same.
yeah, people always think it's more devastating when they live somewhere else. I was in Georgia, and I was getting some dinner, and with my wife, and the lady serving us, she's like, "You guys from California?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Aren't you afraid of the earthquakes?" And I go, "Afraid of the earthquakes?" She's like, I just be afraid that it's just trembling all the time. I go, man, I don't remember any trembling anywhere. I go, are you afraid of hurricanes? She's like, oh no, I'm not afraid of hurricanes. I'm like, well, we think the same way you think. You think that it's bad to live on the East Coast because you guys are getting hit by hurricanes every day, and that's not true, right? Well, we're not getting hit by earthquakes. Last tough one we had was like in 2008, man. That was a long time ago. Maybe even earlier
You know, I
actually.
remember.
Yeah, so long ago.
I can
Um,
imagine just like you probably think it's you. Like, what is it? What do you mean? What is moving? What's moving? Right? Like it
exactly.
shakes and you're
Yeah.
like you blink and it's over. You're like, oh, it must have been just me.
Heck, when I was a kid, they're just like sometimes there's little tremors, but they're like maybe once or twice a year, and we're just like this. Whoa, whoa, this is cool, Little, we don't think anything of
That
it,
was cool,
you know.
right?
Yeah, we loved it. Of course, you guys just got hit with a big hurricane, so I know there's going to be a lot of build back and a lot of
Absolutely,
permits
yes.
going to have to be pulled. So people who are needing permits out there where the hurricanes hit, man, they could be reaching out to you guys. We'll say it at the end as well, but how do people reach out to you? Is there a website?
Absolutely. You can reach out to us at
Mhm.
www.permitbusters.com.
Okay.
And our website is fully engineered to help an average person find forms, have
Wow.
questions, frequently asked questions. So what we did when we built the website, we took feedback from our
Okay.
clients and asked them what they would like to see in our website, and we just
Yeah.
built it based on what they wanted.
Yeah.
So it's fully, you could actually schedule a consultation there as well.
Okay.
And you could also call us at 954-616-5823. And you could ask Maggie, she's my
Okay.
receptionist, and
Okay.
she'll work with you and whatever you need and schedule a
Awesome.
consultation if needed as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's great. And so, in residential, how long do you think it takes for you guys on just a basic average fix and flip? How long do you think it takes you guys to pull a permit?
It really depends on the city. Some cities
Okay.
are better than others. For example,
Okay.
the city of Miami-Dade, I love them.
Ha,
I will submit a permit that
uh-huh.
same day it gets accepted. The next day
Wow.
it starts the review process. So it
Wow.
goes from, I would say, 4 weeks being the best case scenario.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that in a fix and flip, you're not going to get an approval the first time around because
Yeah.
whatever the reviewer sees on paper, on plans, might not be
Yeah.
something that he agrees with.
Yeah.
So that's when we revise plans, we get the
Yeah.
comments, and we try to help them. We explain to them what needs to be done so they can revise it and we can submit it. So on our end,
Uh-huh.
it's 24, 48 hours,
Wow.
assuming all the paperwork is correct.
Okay.
But it's the city's timeline. We can't really guarantee that.
Okay. Yeah. A city takes a little bit longer. Do
hmm
you find it takes a little bit longer with commercial properties?
Not really. It takes about the same because it's the same reviews.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more like fire. If they have a public works type of permit,
Okay.
it takes a little bit of time. It's a little
Yeah.
longer, but not too much.
Okay. That's great to know. That way people know they can just get that done. So, how are you? I mean, obviously, this is great. You're on this podcast, and we're excited that you're here. This broadcasts all over the U.S. We get calls from every state. So, if you start getting some calls from other states, you're going to be running around trying to get all those permits from everywhere. But that's a good problem to have, right?
Well, listen, if I can handle South Florida, which is hurricane prone
Yeah.
craziness,
Yeah.
I could take on anything else.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's good. And especially if people are able to get your coaching program started with you, then you can guide them and walk them through that whole process. So let me ask you this. What does your BAM look like? BAM is branding, advertising, and marketing. Where are other avenues people could find you? Are you guys on social media? Where you at?
Yes, we are at Instagram. You can find us on
Okay.
Permit Busters.
Hmm.
We're also on Facebook, the same name. You can
Okay.
find us anywhere. Just type in Permit
Okay.
Busters,
Yeah.
and I mean everywhere. You just put Permit
Okay.
Busters on Google.
And
You'll
it'll
see us
pop up,
there.
right? And it'll
Yes.
pop up. So what out of all this, what would you say is maybe one of the biggest obstacles that you guys have faced in growing this business? What has been maybe a challenge? Maybe something you guys accomplished already and you're past that, but that would be helpful. What is that? What comes to mind?
So our biggest challenge in permit busters and even Bella permits has always been building trust with our clients,
Okay.
especially when they had difficult experiences with other permitting companies in the past.
Yeah.
Many clients come to us frustrated and they're skeptical because of
Yeah.
the prior delays they've encountered, miscommunication they encountered. Um, we often, we have big shoes to fill after hearing
Yeah.
that because we have
Yeah.
to we have to listen to them. We listen to them, we explain to them our services. And
Yeah.
I think and it's still today, it would always be that would be the obstacle because people that don't know about us have tried other places and they had negative experiences. So
Yeah.
then we have to kind of like pop out of the box and tell them, look,
Okay.
we're here, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Everything is, oh, you can always fix everything,
Yeah.
So that's always our obstacle. And
Okay.
the way we kind of overcome that is explain to them, listen to them, provide a solution, and let them decide how they feel about it. 9 out of 10 times, they always come back because they feel that we can help them.
Yeah.
So we already know that those clients, how they feel about after
Yeah.
their consultation.
Yeah, yeah. I like the phrase you said. You can always fix anything. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
so, what a great mindset and approach because if these guys have problems, they got themselves into a mess, life is crazy, you guys could step in, you can architect the problem, figure it out, and then develop the steps that need to be taken care of, and you guys can go take care of it. So you could step into a mess and turn it into, majesty. You can make it happen for them,
Yeah, we
right?
can
That's
clean it
awesome.
up. We can clean it
Yeah,
up and make it look better. A lot of
yeah,
our clients that have a mess like that, they come to us and it's already a mess. In the system,
yeah,
it looks like chaos. The paperwork is
yeah,
wrong. So
yeah,
we have to, it's a little bit more work, but it's fixable.
yeah. That's good. I like that. It's such a great positive attitude. So basically, what would be the steps? Someone contacts you. They can either look at forms or they start emailing you. They say, "Hey, what do I need to do?" And then you guys get on a text or a phone call with them. Would that be like the next step?
Absolutely. So the first step is scheduling a consultation. The
Okay.
consultation ranges from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on
Okay.
the scope of work they need.
Okay.
We give them specialized approach. We look at the scope of work, we
Yeah.
analyze the situation, we ask for paperwork if there's anything that they want to show us coming from
Yeah.
the building department, anything they did, if it's a violation, and we
Okay.
go through all the steps and I kind of go through that through the whole scope of work and what they
Yeah.
need. So a little bit more intricate, a little bit more personal information, and that
Okay.
way we can build a case and we can let them know what's needed afterwards.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that's great. So you guys got all the steps covered. Well, man, I love this. This seems like a really great business. This really solves a lot of problems for contractors. You could take this across America. People are going to love working with you guys. And for those of you in the audience, I've gotten to spend some time with Isabella and her husband, and we've had dinner. We're part of this entrepreneurial program that we travel the U.S. in, and that we're involved in. And it's just so amazing to be able to hang out with you guys. You guys are real people, honest, integrous. You just really want to give back and do a good job for your client. Make sure that they're stress free and everything works out for them. And I love that attitude, and I see nothing but good things for you guys. And amazing business that's helpful to what people actually really need help with, and that's getting those permits. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Permit Busters. You can find them permitbusters.com. Don't forget the S at the end of that, Busters. Now, by the way, did you guys just watch a lot of Mythbusters or something?
No, actually, you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
It was Adrian's idea
Okay.
he likes Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ghostbusters. Ah,
Yeah, so
gotcha.
he loves
Okay.
that. He's like, we're busting permits, one permit at a time.
Oh. Okay, cool. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Who you gonna call?
Yes.
Permit
Permit
Busters.
busters, baby.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's get this.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I look forward to it, and hopefully,
Thank you for
you guys
having
can be out
us.
here in Cali sometime and be doing some work for all these contractors. I've graduated over 9,000, so
Amazing.
boom.
You need to come to
Yeah,
Florida.
I
You
know.
got our
Well,
full support.
hey, I'm gonna be there in February, and I have an extra day. Maybe you guys got to show me around the office.
Absolutely.
Are you guys
Absolutely.
far from Kissimmee, Florida?
No, we're about 3 hours. Our office is in Coral
Oh,
Springs. We're about three
okay.
hours.
Okay, it's not too
We'll
bad.
be there.
All
Just
right,
let us know
cool.
when.
Sweet. Yep, I love it. I will be there February for the our entrepreneur event.
Awesome. See you then. Thank you for having us, Alan. It was a
Yep.
pleasure.
Thank you. Yep. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye.